Well, folks, I just got my dies for my 6.5 Grendel. So I'm going to try to load a few shells with it. Maybe put some 95 grain VMAXs. And I want to take it today and shoot it and see how they do. So I won't get to reloading.
Set of dies come with a shell holder because I didn't have one. I've heard that little hole in the side of this pace setter die will scratch your brass, that it's rough on the inside. So I'm going to run a few through it and see what it does, if it screws it up, if I'm going to have to take it apart and polish the inside of the die, or if it's something I can live with. I'll set the die till it just contacts the shell holder. Now I'm going to raise the ram up a little bit and turn it another half a turn. And then lock it down. Now I'm going to use this tool here to deburr the flash holes. Tool in through the case mouth. Line it up in the primer pocket hole, flash hole, and I trimmed it and I felt a little chunk it knocked off. So then you loosen this set screw up right here and drive that down to the case mouth. I try to hold it tight, and then once I lock it down, then I'll cut all the burrs out of the inside of the flash hole on all the rest of them. They've all got some trash in them so far. Well, the first 3 out of one batch weighed 115 grains. This batch weighs 113, or that one does. And 115, almost 116. As long as they're within a couple grains of each other, shouldn't cause too much of an issue. But seems like with the smaller cases, the difference in weight makes a lot of difference because case volume inside changes with the weight of the case. Well, these here all weighed 115 grains. These was 116.1, 116.2, so they was just barely out. And all of these weighed 113 to 113.9. So clearly one batch of ammo was a little bit lighter than the others. I'll mark them and put the same powder charge and bullet combination and everything in them, and we'll see if these lighter ones has any difference in velocity, because they'll have a bigger firing chamber compared to the ones that are heavier. Won't be much, but it will be a little bit. And on some 22-250 ammo I loaded years ago, there was a bigger difference there was more like 5 grains difference in the case weights, but it made a lot of difference on velocity. The heavier ones, I had to back the load down by a whole grain of powder to get it to shoot in the same spot as the ones that were lighter. And the lighter ones actually shot the best. I had worked the load up for them, and I'd got some more brass from somebody else, and when I went to shoot it, it was shooting all over the place. So then when I reloaded them again, I checked the weight on them, and they were 5 grains heavier than the other cases, so I'm assuming it was building a lot more pressure in the case because the case volume was smaller and I still put the same amount of powder in them. So anyway, something to think about. I'll be using CCI Small Rifle bench rest primers today for this 6.5 Grendel load. I'll be loading single primers one at a time with my press. I can feel it seat up against the inside of the primer pocket good with this press. I've got a handheld job that you can load a bunch at a time, but I like this way better. Takes a little bit longer, but I'd rather do it this way. I bought a trimming tool for these cases, but they're well within specs, so I'm not going to bother with trimming any of them. They've only been shot one time, so I think they should be good. Well, today I'm going to be using some 95 grain VMAX bullets that I've got and some 100 grain hollow points Sierra bullets. They both shoot really good out of my 260 rifles, and Benchmark works really good in my 260, and I have some of it, so I'm probably going to try that powder today. I'm going to be loading 4 sets of rounds here. Be loading the first one at 29.4 grains, second one at 29.6, third at 29.8, and the fourth at 30. Then we'll take them down to the shooting range and check them for velocity and accuracy at 200 yards. The book says to load this 95 grain VMAX at 2.230, so that's what I want to do. I want to check it now. I want to check it with this tool I got from Hornady, and it gives a little more precise reading. 1.694. That's what I'm going to shoot for there. That tool there doesn't read off the tip, so if the tip of the bullet is deformed just a hair, it still reads off of the jacket, and it's more precise. So we'll go with that measurement. Well, I've got them loaded up there. And got one extra shell there loaded in the 30 grain charge weight. But I'm going to take them down to the range now and weed them out. See which one shoots the best.